Thank the community, Tori, Liz, everybody who's been supporting us. Um, it's a hard day for us, thinking about my son, his last words. And it's tough, but God's given me the strength, giving my wife the strength, the family, to continue this journey, this fight for justice. And we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. This is the house where Joel said his last words, let me go home. I promise you I'll go straight home. Christopher Peters, Andrew Jakolski held him down, giving Mattioli enough time to get on him to do the rear naked chokehold for over 11 minutes and 22 seconds. But yet, the defense wants for Mattioli to have a fair trial. What fair trial did my son Joel have? He never even got a trial. They choked the life out of him. Now, this is what we're standing here for today. We are his voice.
Yes.
We'll continue to be his voice. And we won't stop. And to everybody that was involved, and I mean everybody, that's going to pay for their crime that happened behind these closed doors. As much as they try to hide the truth, it's still coming out. Like I said, it's a battle that we're going to continue to fight for justice. All we want is truth. All we want is for these people who killed my son to be arrested and charged. How are you going to put charge on somebody that holds the upper part of my son's body on the rear naked chokehold, but the other person that Andrew Jakolski, they hold the bottom part of my son's body, he don't get charged for it? What kind of justice is that? What laws are that? What laws is John Chisholm making up for himself and using these two individuals as so-called witnesses that happen to be Michael Mattioli's friends? What friend is going to choke the life out of another friend over what? It's a year and we still don't know what the hell that he said that he stole from him, from his pockets. A year. We don't even have a trial date. It's been a year. My son passed away
Come on, okay.
April 25th. George Floyd passed away May 25th, a month later. And his trial is almost over. And my son's hasn't even begun. So you tell me what justice is here. This is not about a broken system. This is about a system that was set up for people like us, black and brown, to get no justice, while the white community goes on with their life, while these officers commit these heinous crimes and get to walk away and go home and lay in their bed and wake up the next day and walk outside. But yet, we're the ones being victimized here. It wasn't just my son, it's also us. And it's hard, but we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. We have our strong faith, our belief in God. We said that since day one, and I still stand here. I still keep saying the same thing. God is going to bring out that is in the dark to the light. This is for the English-speaking community. But for the Spanish-speaking community, for the Latinos. ¿A dónde están los latinos que están acá afuera, que viven en Milwaukee? Que nosotros también necesitamos apoyo como todo el mundo en esta ciudad. ¿A dónde están los latinos que tienen que estar aquí peleando con nosotros? Porque nosotros también tenemos derechos como latinos. We all have rights. Whether we're Spanish, African American, Colombian, Asian, it does not matter. We're all human beings, and we all have rights. And we demand, not ask, we demand for the truth to come out and for all these people to be held accountable for what they did. Because if it was one of us holding Mattioli down with a couple of our friends, I guarantee you we will still be locked up. And if the charges were changed, automatically they would have raised up our bond. What is wrong with this court system here? How fair is that to us, the tax-paying people? We're paying for Mattioli to be out in the street. We are paying for him to walk around freely here. It disgusts me. It disgusts me how this system is. It disgusts me how John Chisholm tried to treat us like we didn't have no rights. Well, we're going to fight back, John Chisholm. I guarantee you that. As God is my witness, if you all here is my witness, today is the anniversary of my son's murder, and I would not stay quiet. I'm not going to step down, and I'm going to keep fighting until every single person that was in this house, known and unknown, are going to be held accountable. I guarantee you that.
It's a lot of thoughts that come to my mind as I reflect my son's last words. Let me go home. His rights were violated. Michael Mattioli and Andrew Jakowski and Christopher Peters denied him to go home. They said it was a fight. Those that heard the 911. His words were not threats. His words was to plead to go home. And I would stand here advocating for his human rights, which Michael Mattioli had no remorse. His own words. The criminal complaint, I quote his words, "I don't give a F about him. He stole from me." A police officer that took an oath to protect human rights. This is what we stand here for. Doesn't matter what color you are. It's human life. And my son deserved to go home that day. But yet the system allows this officer to be at his home. We would not stop advocating for Joel and be his voice. My son was full of life, and his life mattered. Although Mattioli's no remorse of his life, my son's life mattered. He's my son. He's my son. And how dare the system ridicule us parents to advocate for my son and call this reckless behavior. How dare those attorneys state that this is reckless behavior. This is a cry of a mother's pain. His act in this home was the reckless behavior. But yet they don't want to release nothing out to the public. They want to keep it behind closed doors. And then release the footage after trial? Why? Why? I'm here to tell those attorneys that Michael Mattioli's behavior was reckless. And we have the right as parents to speak upon my son's life, because his life does matter.